Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squad for boxing news and views from around the internet. The WBO is seemingly cracking down on inactive regional belt holders, with two taking a tumble in the latest rankings update, one dropping out of the top 15 entirely. So I'll start at the top of the rankings, working my way through it, and then on to these belt holders who are either down or out, because it's about time. I think many of us have agreed that there's a number of guys that have been hanging around for too long with these minor titles, but not really doing enough to maintain position. And a lot of us have been calling for some eliminators to be held to actually sort out some of these guys to make sure the best guys, or at least some of the best guys within the heavyweight division, are actually in these rankings and that they deserve to be there. So starting at the top there, we have the WBO mandatory challenger Oleksandr Usyk. He was named about a month ago. He remains at number 1 and will continue to do so. Tyson Fury, he's at number 2 for the second consecutive month. Dillian Whyte is at number 3, and it must be noted these rankings were released after Dillian Whyte's fight with Oscar Rivas, but seemingly determined before that fight had happened. So I would expect some movement in terms of Whyte and Rivas, who I'll get to in a minute, in next month's update. At number 4, Anthony Joshua, no change. Number 5, no change for Oscar Rivas, but like I said, next month after his loss to Whyte, probably will drop down. Number 6, Tyrone Spong. So he has a minor title here. I would like to see him active, fighting someone of note in the division, because he is definitely in this category of someone who isn't doing enough really to maintain his spot within the rankings. A very high ranking considering the limited opposition that he's faced. He's number 6 with the Latino title. He needs to actually take a step up and fight someone half decent, because it's overdue. At number 7, potentially in the same boat, needs to take a better step up, is Junior Fa, although he recently did fight, so he's among some of these regional belt holders who has actually been fighting. He fought Dominic Gwynn, got off the canvas to win that fight. But interestingly though, they list him here as the Oriental champion, and previously that honor was held by China's Zhili Zhang. And here is actually last month's ranking. So you can see here Junior Fa, number 7, Zhili Zhang at number 8, and look at those titles. So Oriental International for Junior Fa and Oriental title for Zhili Zhang. So he actually, Junior Fa, seemingly on the face of this, has been upgraded to the Oriental champion. And Zhili Zhang, and you might be wondering, well, where is he? He's plummeted all the way from 8 last month to number 15 this month. So he's almost down and out of the rankings. And 2 months ago, he was at number 5. So he was at 5, then 8, and now number 15 in the latest rankings update. So you have to ask the question, what is going on here? Has he been stripped of his Oriental title and Junior Fa upgraded from this Oriental International, which I think was just created out of thin air about a year ago, and has he been upgraded to the Oriental title? Because it does appear that way on the surface. He is listed as holding the Oriental title. Zhang at number 15 is not listed as being a regional belt holder anymore, so that's quite interesting. And for Zhang himself, he hasn't fought since September 2018, and that was against a journeyman. So he's been out of the ring for the best part of a year now. Not quite a year, about 10 months or so. So he really needs to get cracking. Recently, he signed a co-promotional deal with Matchroom, so you'd hope that they will be utilizing that, because obviously at 36 years old and not really having had a proper step up at this point in his career, his record is, 19-0, 20-0, 20-0. He actually needs to get busy. He is a former silver medalist from the 2008 games. He actually needs to really take a step up and get busy here. At number 8, Daniel Dubois. He's been rewarded. He's up 3 places in this month's ranking update, previously at 11 last month, and that would have come courtesy of his win over Nathan Gorman. At number 9, Ajit Kabayel, no change. Number 10, Yevgeny Romanov, no change. At number 11, we have Ali Erindemireshan, and this will be a similar situation to Oscar Rivas. These rankings would have been updated ahead of his fight against F.A. Jagba just this past weekend, and obviously he lost that fight. So I also expect him, along with Rivas, to fall down the rankings, and potentially Demireshan will go out altogether. At number 12, we have Michael Hunter, who enters the WBO rankings. He had a recent fight back in May against Fabio Maldonado. Be interesting to see what happens next. There's talk that Alexander Povetkin is still a possible fight for Hunter, remains to be seen, but he's got rankings across some different sanctioning bodies, so he is starting to position himself well, just needs a decent fight now. Number 13 is Carlos Takam. He's up one spot. At number 14, Tom Schwartz, also up one spot. And then you have at 15, Zhili Zhang. And the guy who dropped out of the rankings, who previously had a ranking and also a regional title, is Kyotaru Fujimoto. He was number 9 2 months ago with the Asia Pacific title. Then last month he was number 13, and now he is out altogether. He last fought in September of last year against a guy who'd fought as low as middleweight. So Fujimoto has been very inactive and seemingly punished for it. Same with Zhili Zhang, who also hasn't had a fight since September last year. So these guys and their management, their promoters, all that sort of stuff, only have themselves to blame. I'm not aware of any injuries, but that's not to say that they haven't been injured. But yeah, 9 or 10 months out of the ring, they've had these regional titles, been clogging up the rankings. Seemingly the WBO has been actually acting. As I say, Zhili Zhang was as high as number 5 just a couple of months ago, and now he's tumbled all the way down to 15. Fujimoto out of the rankings entirely. And it's not clear if Fujimoto has been stripped of his Asia Pacific title, because on the face of it, given this month's rankings at 15 here, Zhili Zhang, he does not have a regional title listed against his name, where obviously previously he did. So Junior Fa potentially has been upgraded to the full Oriental champion as opposed to the Oriental International. Maybe this is a mistake, I don't know, but obviously there's been some movement. Zhang and Fujimoto, on the face of it, look like they've paid for their inactivity. What do you make of it all? Do you think Fujimoto and Zhang deserve to be dropped down the rankings? Do you think Fujimoto deserved to be dropped out? Let me know. Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.